Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. This is Virgo One, so our Decan video. I've already said quite a bit about these cards and how they've played into my life, and that pretty much remained the same. The different obstacles that came forward and the stuff that happened, you can see me talk about that in the last video. I feel though once that situation simmered down, I didn't really fall back into this energy. So that was pretty much the energy that came forward, I guess, for the Decan. And it just started like right off the get-go, which I tend to experience these things like the day or the night before the Decan changes. As you saw in my previous video, I had a little bit of a situation happen online with pricing decks and different things like that. But I ended up turning it into a lesson. I ended up turning it into something that could aid other people, and I ended up utilizing it and using it to the best of my abilities. So it ended up working out on my behalf anyways. Before we spend any more time on any of this, let's switch these cards out and then we'll look at all the new stuff that's coming in, because there's quite a few things that are changing. So we're leaving Leo. We're saying goodbye to the fire element, the fixed sign. We're saying goodbye to Mars. So those are all done. We're leaving all of the stuff behind. The Strength, the Blasted Tower, Seven of Wands, and that chapter is behind us, as well as our W cards. All right, so we've got pretty much a nice clear table. These energies are still staying put for right now, so these are still things that are happening. Okay, we are looking at... We are in Virgo. So we are now in Virgo. It is a mutable sign. And we are dealing with the earth element, which I much rather prefer to deal with than fire. I don't know if it was just me, but I found this Leo season to be particularly fiery and spicy. I tend to have a tendency to not get along that great with Leos. Not sure why. I don't know. It must be something in my chart. And it's not all Leos, but it's a good majority of Leos I tend to not get along with so well. And like I said, I have no idea why that is. But I found like it really was highlighted. It might have been the Mercury in retrograde coming through. I have no idea. But I just found the Leo period to be particularly fiery and spicy, like I said. Just seemed like there was a lot of problems across the board. All right, so we are now in the Eight of Pentacles, which I am so excited about. I'm ready to say goodbye to that Seven of Wands. And we have the Hermit with us, and the Sun is with us, which I love. I love seeing all of these cards make me happy. And then in the Hermetic Tarot, we have the Eight of Pentacles, which is the Lord of Prudence. We have the Hermit, which is Magus of the Voice of Light. Magus, however you want to say it. I say both. I go back and forth between them. And then we have the Sun, which is Lord of the Fire of the World. So these are all the cards that are in place right now, which is awesome. I love it. I love all of these cards. I'm good with all of them. And then our planetary is the Sun. So we have double Sun happening. Like, how fun is that? Love it. All right. And then, like I said, these are remaining, so these are staying. So this is what's in right now. This is what the Decan is. Our first little taste of the Decan and what it's going to be all about, which I'm really excited. Let's get right in here. We're going to look at Virgo. Okay, so it is an earth element. It is mutable. It is receptive. All right, and we've got this angel of purity has elevated ideas and seeks sacred perfection. Virgo seeks improvement with impressive attention to detail and wise discernment. All aesthetics, values, and goals get a boost with this efficient worker. Very true. So a lot of people probably don't, well, I mean, you wouldn't know this about me unless I told you, but I am a Pisces moon, right? But I'm a Virgo sun. And like, I think at least I have tons of Virgo in me. If you met me, I'm nothing like a Pisces. I'm maybe a little bit Pisces, but hardly at all. I have a lot of Virgo in me. So that is 100%. Like when I read horoscopes, I read Virgo because Pisces usually doesn't even apply to me. All right. And then we do the mutable. We know what mutable is, but I'll go over it fast. So our mutable signs are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Mutable signs end the season. Gemini is late spring, Virgo late summer, Sagittarius late fall, and Pisces late winter. During these periods, the upcoming season can be sensed. This gives these signs a flexible, adaptable quality. And that's really true. I mean, I know everybody's chomping at the bit for that fall weather to fall in place and everything to start being pumpkin spice and Halloween and all of that stuff. I myself, as well as many other people, am a fall lover. My most favorite. I love fall, then winter, and then spring, and then summer. I'm not really a big fan of summer anymore. Used to, as a young person a long time ago. And nowadays, not so much. Don't really care for it anymore. And then Earth. Let's look at that Earth element coming through. All right, so Earth signs are our Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Earth represents the material realm, nature, and structure. It seeks security, is solid, stable, and grounded. Reliability and practicality come with the energy of Earth. Due to its receptivity, it's also cool, calm, and collected. 100%. Love it. This is exactly the energy that I'm ready for, 110%. And I can tell you already exactly what is going on with this because it's already happening, which is hilarious, but just the way that things seem to go with me. All right. And then, oh, I guess I should have read the sun while I had the book out. Let me re-grab it. Let's look at the sun again. All right. So the sun, the ruler of Leo and the fifth house. The sun is the center around which all revolves. It is life force, vitality, and identity. It radiates, shines, and pours its energy into the way impossible to ignore. The ultimate fire, it represents will, creativity, and healthy ego. So that's really cool. And I'm, once again, I already see how all of these have fallen into place with my life. It's very, very obvious at this point. I feel like this is the nice side of fire, though. I feel like it's like being confident, but not being arrogant. It's, being sure of yourself, but not being obnoxious about it. It's, a lot of creativity. I've been feeling really creative. Like it all of a sudden just hit me. And it was like create, 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 organize. I've been organizing, cleaning, moving through things. How this energy's come through for me, like I don't know, like 10 o'clock last night, 9 o'clock last night, I decided that I was redecorating my entire bathroom. Like, I don't even know where it came from, but I went to Michael's like earlier on that day, got 2 picture frames on sale because I ended up getting 2 prints and I wanted to frame them. Had no idea where I was going to put them. And then I got home, put them into the frames, and I was like, I'm redoing my entire bathroom around these 2 pictures that I, bought a few days ago, a few days ago prior to this. And so I hung those. And then it was all the pictures needed to be redone. Everything needed to be changed out. I needed to change their locations and the way that they were on the walls. And then I wanted to restructure this. And then I wanted to bring this in. And I wanted to do, like, it was insane. It was like 9 o'clock at night. I started doing it. And I don't even know why I did it. But it's this creative energy. It's this wanting to fix things, to make things good. To kind of critique and master my bathroom. My bathroom, I liked the way that it looked, but it just wasn't quite right yet. It still needed a little bit like oomph. And that's my Virgo, right? That's my Virgo energy coming in. And I put more like witchy, earthy based pictures in it. A lot of pictures of like plants, antique botanicals, antique butterfly stuff. But then I also put in prints from Jessica, I don't know how to say her last name, Rue. I think it's Rue, Roux. She's the creator of the Woodland Wardens. I got my hands on a whole bunch of prints of hers for an extremely discounted price, which was amazing. They were on clearance at a shop that I went to. And I ended up getting these beautiful, beautiful, earthy, witchy, um, like gorgeous artwork by her, which I mean, her artwork is astounding. It is so beautiful. So that's what it happened. So I've got like that earthy element coming in with the artwork that I chose, that needing to perfect it and organize it and make it nice and clean and tidy and to the best of my abilities is my Virgo energy coming in, as well as this Eight of Pentacles. I am not shy about decorating. I am not shy about arranging colors or patterns or anything like that. I actually was going to go to school for interior design, but I ended up switching last minute to horticulture and botanicals and all of that stuff. So that very much comes into play with this. And I was happy. I loved doing it. I had a great time doing it. I did it by myself. My husband helped a little bit when it came to just like holding the pictures in a place. But other than that, I pretty much, took it all on myself. And it just felt good. And it was like this creativity energy coming in. It was wonderful. So I've already kind of experienced this energy and I'm liking it. So you guys are gonna have a wonderful 10 or so days because this was just great energy coming in. All right, let's read about the Hermetic Tarot. We're going to get into Susan's book and see what's going on and what she says. Let's start with Susan's book. So once again, we are reading from the 36 Secrets, which is a phenomenal book. I will say it again, if you don't have this, get it. It is a fantastic book. This is something you can use time and time and time again. Not just this one time. This is something you can revisit yearly. I plan on it. This is going to be a well-used book in my collection. I absolutely love everything she's done with it here. All right, so let's get in here and read what she has. And I kind of read out of the book a little bit, right? Because I just love the way that she words things and the way she says stuff. It's so smart. I just kind of pick out the things that really resonate with me, and I leave the rest for you guys to investigate and for you guys to journal or to spend time in this yourself and discover how this has come forward for you, because that's part of this and that's the biggest learning aspect of this, right? So if I just gave you all the answers and everything up front, you would never learn anything. So it's really important for us to tune in and tap into our own intuition, right? So after the desperate measures of the Seven of Wands, we emerge into a drama-free zone. Yes, thank you. The Eight of Pentacles is a place of well-lit industry and zen-like focus. Or some might argue it's a crashing bore where every day is the same. I do not agree with that whatsoever. I actually don't mind routine. I enjoy it. So, though each of the artisan's pentacles may appear identical, right? You can be certain he is honing in his craft immensely with each one. Every detail is another opportunity to hunt down the ideal. He is lost in trance of perfection, seeing only the work before him, but in the work resides the world entire. The sun shining bright in the Sun card is captured in the lantern of the Hermit card. And that is the key here. In the light it casts, details grow brighter, clearer, and more in focus. Distinctions formerly too small to notice swim into view. It's the kind of productive myopia. The selflessness of the hermit is not a failure of self-esteem. It is the erasure or disappearance of the observer when the observed fills the frame. Why is Virgo so famous for hard work? Because any task can be borne. If you look closely enough, there is a fascination and beauty to be found in the inner workings of anything. Also, interesting, Virgo-ish is the phrase, hang a lantern on it to acknowledge a point of view in order to dismiss it. In conversations or arguments, Virgo seeks to go beyond the obvious, preparing to hunt down finer nuances and subtle senses. I totally agree with it. That's like this morning when I was in my bathroom, I was like, why did I even do this? My bathroom was quite fine before all of this, but it looks really pretty. And it's like, it looks so nice right now. And it's important to me because it's my own personal space, right? My husband has his own bathroom, I have my bathroom, and it's where my clients go. So when I have my customers come in and my clients come in, whether it's for Reiki or readings or whatever, it's the bathroom that they see and use. So it's really important for me for it to look good and put together and professional and clean and tidy. And it's just really important to me. So that's what I took on. When we moved here, this place was in such bad shape. We took on all of these crazy hard things and needed to get stuff done in order to live in it throughout the winter. And it just, we had to hit the ground running, right? So I didn't get the opportunity to look at the details or the fine tuning of things, right? We've now been here 5 years. This is our 5th year we're going into. And we're now at that point where I can start perfecting my space and adding more to it and changing some things and adding details and organization and, figuring out that maybe things don't work well over here. So I'm going to move them into this other closet and we can get to it easier there. Different things like that. So definitely what is all coming forward. And because I'm mostly Virgo and I resonate really strong with earth energy, this works for me 110%, and I am super excited about this. In many ways, the 7 is opposite of the 8 of Pentacles. 8s, as mentioned earlier, sit across from the 7s on the tree of life. That's something she talks about in a few pages before in this chapter, but like I said before, I leave that for you guys to discover. They provide a humble counterweight to the fiery inspiration of the 7s. Where 7s operate on instinct, 8 operates on instruments. Pentacles are cards of earth, so their elemental opposite is swords, which is the suit of air. The 8 of Pentacles, Decan, is ruled by the sun. The 7 of Pentacles, Decan, is ruled by the moon. The solar earthly 8 of Pentacles is truly the salt of the earth, sensibly aproned and highly focused. The lunar airy 7 of Swords, by contrast, is a shady character with his furry boots and hats and ulterior motives. He's not looking where he's going, and he is definitely not telling you what he's up to. With the 8 of Pentacles, you can see what you get. With the 7 of Swords, it's anybody's guess what will happen next. While the 8 hammers away at his workbench, the 7 is on stage performing some role to his own advantage. So then she goes on to list your everyday 8 of Pentacles things. So these are the things that tend to happen during this decan. Weeding, reformatting JPEGs, mapping procedures, tax prep, cleaning an office, prepping for classes, how-to sessions on Zoom, stuff like that, right? It's all about process. It's all about processing, right? Besides taking care of business in these very responsible and very unglamorous ways, she experienced the 8 of Pentacles in one other sphere, which is cooking. Specifically cooking very labor-intensive, repetitive, or time-consuming projects, which sometimes people do enjoy, right? I tend to enjoy them for the first little bit, and then I get tired of it. And I'm like, okay, I've made like 6 pierogies. I'm done now, right? And she said things like waffles, dumplings, puff pastries, anything that starts with a couple pounds of flour and ends in a bajillion steps later with something shiny, golden, and loving. being produced, right? Pierogies and cabbage rolls take forever to make, right? Especially pierogies from scratch. And that's kind of the stuff that happens, right? So that's the stuff that she says comes forward. For me, it was decorating a bathroom out of the blue for no reason, just ripped apart my bathroom and completely redecorated it. So her takeaway that she says is when you draw the Eight of Pentacles, it is time to harvest your own light. What talents and skills do you have to offer the world? What can you do to perfect them? Perhaps you think you have none, but the Hermit's gifts are time and humility. Through focused efforts, you can achieve more than you thought. The work of the Eight of Pentacles is not flashy, but it is perfectly proportioned. It is the rightness in all things that make the machine run smoothly. No detail is too small for your attention. We may seek the thrill of public recognition at times, but equally important is the satisfaction of quiet competence. That satisfaction can be in tasks as small as sweeping the porch, making your bed, folding your laundry. It can equally be found in polishing your manuscript, tuning up your car, streamlining your process. So yeah, like I've made it, it's very clear. Like we even changed our tires. We had a whole bunch of tire stuff happen. We were long due to do our tires. Our tires on our car were really, they were overdue to be changed. We did that. So just like the routine stuff, right? But needs to be done. I have It's really funny because I have to go over and redo like a bunch of different stuff for my business. I have a few things that I want to clean up and tidy up and perfect and just make a little bit better. So that's stuff that'll be coming forward this week. The other thing too is teaching. I'm literally teaching every weekend for the next 4 weeks now, and I'm doing all of my different teaching and all that different stuff, and that's very much the Eight of Pentacles energy right there. And because I have to teach, it made me look at some of my courses or paperwork or the different things that I have, and it once again reminds me of the things that I wanted to change or clean up or perfect or reword. So like that's all coming into light. I have a list a mile long of the things that I want to get accomplished over the next couple weeks, so we'll see if I can get them done. But like they're nothing exciting, right? They're just the things that need to be done, the mundane things, the things that will add a little bit of shine to my different things that I'm trying to do, right? So totally Eight of Pentacles energy. And for this Virgo based person, it works really, really good for me. It definitely floats my boat. So I'm ready for it. All right, let's look at these Hermetic Tarot cards, read a little bit about them, and then that'll be it. All right, so Eight of Pentacles, Lord of Prudence. A hand at the bottom of the card barely touches the stem of the rose bush, while 4 white roses touch only the lowermost petals. No rosebuds are seen. All the pentacles are without any crosses or wings. The pentacles are very intricate, signifying intelligence. The alternating black and white indicates negative and positive sides of Prudence. A large sun radiates in the center of the uppermost pentacle. Above and below are the symbols of the sun and Virgo. All right, so let's look at that. If I can get my, let's see if it, there we go, it's zoomed in. Perfect. So there's that hand. There's the roses on the stem. Here's all your black and white, very detailed pentacles. Here's our sun sign, our Virgo sign, and up here at the top again. So that is the Lord of Prudence, the Eight of Pentacles. It's a very beautiful card, very balanced, very organized. Okay, and then we're going to read about the Hermit, which is a very interesting card. And the other thing I wanted to say too is how that card was talking about the negative and positive side of Prudence. That made me think about the negative and positive side of these energies, right? And we're in Mercury in retrograde right now, only for a little bit longer, but we're going to be dealing with it for a couple more weeks. And I feel like a lot of things are disruptive and a lot of things don't flow easily when you're in that, which is going to be problematic for this kind of energy and is going to make you kind of have to work a little bit harder, right? Or you are such a master at what you do that you'll be able to foresee what's going to happen and you can just navigate around it, right? So I definitely can see different sides of this energy coming through. And then maybe going overboard and being too, up too much of a perfectionist, too much attention to detail, right? To the point that you drive yourself or others insane, right? So I can see how there can be negative attributes to this as well, right? Okay, so the Hermit, the Magus of Voice of Light. The magical lamp appears above the solitary figure wrapped in hood and mantle. The lamp burns without wick or fuel. It is lit only by the lux of the universal fluic agent. Even without fuel, the beams radiate in all directions. The face that burns in the golden triangle is the symbol of the infinite and eternal. At the bottom of the card is the cosmic egg and the chaff of wheat, dormant for years, but easily to nurture to life at the opportune time. To the back of the Hermit is a large plant yielding a seed at its summit. The snake coiled and passive around the symbol of Virgo and Mercury is also ready to spring to life. All right, so here's that card for you, if we can get it to focus in. Well, I don't know if it's going to focus. There we go. All right. So here's all this happening here. Here's that face burning in the light. That is the snake right there. Here's that shaft of wheat. Here's this figure sitting cloaked. It's got a plant behind him with a bunch of seeds. You've got this lantern burning, right? So that's everything right there that they were talking about. That's a really neat card. It's a very interesting card. Okay, and then we've already visited the sun before, but I'll read it again because it's here. And it's part of this Decan. The sun, lord of the fire of the world. Beneath the fiery sun, two children danced wildly, and roses appeared between them and behind each of them. The roses represent the flowering of the solar influence. The dancing sirens are young, shameless, and innocent. The sun and its heat are beneficial sources of light, and the melter of waxen wings of ambition and curiosity. The sun radiates upon the children. So there we go. We've got that right there, the sun. And we've seen this card before, but it's so beautiful. I love how the sun is depicted in this card. I love its rays. It's super beautiful. But yeah, so we're coming into that last few weeks of summer, and then fall is upon us. So you can feel the heat, the sun, like all the plants are scorched, the earth is burnt, the grass is brown and crunchy, right? You can feel we're at the end of summer. Everything's starting to transition and go into that dying phase for fall. And it's just, you can feel it all starting to build, right? And I feel like it's like kind of the finishing touches of summer, right? Before that perfect display of the master crafting of nature when the fall comes in, right? That perfect detail to color. And I don't know, the fall to me is just, it's like when Earth puts on its most spectacular display, if you ask me, right? So it's like everything building up to perfect for that beautiful display to happen and to erupt, right? So I feel very much that this is all building to it, right? Once again, our cards over here aren't changing. We're still dealing with the Page of Wands, the King of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands. In the Hermetic Tarot, that's the Princess of Wands, the King of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands. So once again, those are just personalities and extra energies for us to tap into during this Decan if we want to. And yeah, guys, so that's it. This is what's coming forward for us. I'm very much looking forward to it. Like I said before, this is the kind of stuff that floats my boat. I love it. So hopefully this Decan is good for you guys. We will be seeing you guys. Let me just grab my book here. Let's see when the next Decan is. So the next Decan will be the Nine of Pentacles, and we will be doing that on September 2nd. So this Decan is from August 23rd to September 1st. So that's this Eight of Pentacles will be playing out. And then, like I said, on September 2nd will be our next Decan video, and that's going to be the Nine of Pentacles. So here's the Decan that's coming in for us. Sounds like it's going to be spectacular and very enjoyable. So enjoy yourselves. I hope all is well, and I'll see you guys on the next Decan video. That would be Virgo 2. All right, thanks everybody. Enjoy.